We all make mistakes from time to time, but some mistakes are more costly than others. It's never great when you realize your sports car isn't as well designed as your soda can. That moment when you make a hole in the roof and realize that the guy upstairs has his own beach. If there's one thing you don't need when you're faced with a horrific water bill, it's having to pay for a locksmith on top of it. FedEx, destroying your new PCs before they even get into the house. Just for context, this kid is at a Da Vinci exhibition full of priceless paintings. Well, except for that one. If you thought that idiots only drove too fast on roads, then think again. Yeah, I'll just take a quick selfie and… nope. Back in pirate days, people would be killed after they walked the plank, not because of it. The oldest wrestling move in the book, filling somebody's brand new car with cement. That's a thing, right?
And it's going the wrong way, oh my gosh!
This Ferrari has been seized by the police. Akimbo's car-loving viewers might want to look away now. Here's a bit of karma for an inconsiderate driver. He won't be pulling out in traffic so quickly after this. Even bears sometimes get jealous of luxury supercars.
What's happened?
That moment when you realize that glass windshields aren't indestructible. We're gonna go ahead and say that the guy in the truck isn't a professional tree surgeon.
Oh my god.
Why spend money on expensive paintbrushes when you can just cover your youngest child in paint instead, and then get them to slither around the house?
Was hast du denn gemacht?
I swear to God.
This guy's wheels were stolen, so he got, a little bit upset.
Why would you do this, bro?
Always remember that Lego cars were meant for building and not for driving. When demonstrating a good quality pipe, it's important that everyone and everything, even the cinder blocks, are high. These drivers are clearly so used to these potholes that they're now considered to just be part of the road. When you try to prove that you can't steal the hood ornament of a Rolls Royce, and then, well, steal it.
I say no. Oh my God.
When these guys bought this remote-control plane, they clearly didn't read the fine print, especially the bit that said, "will consistently break into flames upon landing." When you buy a brand new condo and then realize they've thrown in a swimming pool for free. Even dogs can't resist an area of freshly poured cement. Well, especially dogs. Do you want to save space in your home? Then why not install a shower in the kitchen? If you've got the money to buy a Ferrari, then you should also have enough money for driving lessons. That moment when you realize your camera isn't a robot with artificial intelligence. This is what a multi-million-dollar car collection looks like after the Miami floods. Wet. It's sometimes difficult for a cameraman to film the wind until something like this happens.
Oh no, look at that!
This guy told the clerk of this jewelry store that he wanted to see a couple of wedding rings in the natural light, and then just took off. Even though he was arrested, you get the feeling that the clerk ended up in the most trouble. Hey, look at my brilliant science machine. On second thought, don't. Just because David managed to beat up Goliath doesn't mean that size isn't always an issue. Isn't it strange how stupid stunts always end up with stupid results? Don't worry, this is just a remote-controlled plane, and the only thing that felt any pain was the owner's bank account. Yeah, I'll just take a right down this narrow street and everything will be fine. Who'd have thought that using a sword to open a glass bottle could go so wrong? Apparently, humans aren't the only species to encounter road rage. Top tip, if you drive into the back of a truck carrying yellow paint, then you may end up looking like a character in a Van Gogh painting. If you have the budget to buy a yacht, then you should probably put aside some of that money to hire a good captain, because this guy's last job was clearly on the Titanic. And speaking of the Titanic, here's a similar event on a smaller scale, although probably just as expensive. When you're surrounded by hundreds of miles of water, the last thing you want to see is fire. This is one of those shortcuts where you just have to stay there for the rest of your natural life. Hey, I caught a fish! Oh no, he's caught me! Whoever said that soccer fans act like children? You don't have to know much about boats to know that this crunching sound is never good. These cars were almost completely submerged after flash floods hit Brazil. Call me a pessimist, but I can't imagine them starting up first time after this. When you're revving your expensive car to impress complete strangers, and then you blow out your clutch in front of complete strangers. There are two expensive fails here, the runaway truck and the massive amount of gas running away at today's fuel prices. This 120-foot yacht caught fire and sank in Miami. Insurance job? Or just a really good party? You'd think that after the first time, they would have just taken the dog inside. Or if things got really bad, then maybe the cement.
Yo, somebody had a bad day.
This looks like a stunt from a Hollywood movie, but it was probably just an unsecured car being transported. What a letdown. This is either a tornado or a poltergeist who really hates green cars. If you want doors like the car from Back to the Future, then you'd better be prepared for some Marty McFly-style comedy disasters. This guy clearly saw himself as some kind of snow removal expert, but then ended up proving that he's a demolition expert instead. Maybe the next step is to leave the entire car attached and just drive the boat out to sea.
I guess he just fucking doesn't want to bother. Here you go, boys.
Here's a fact that'll make you feel safe and full of confidence. This is a rescue boat.
Holy shit.
These glass doors are strong enough to keep burglars out, but not to keep anyone in. That melon clearly belongs to Thor, God of Thunder. What you're looking at is a massive amount of overflowing grape juice and an enthusiastic dog who really enjoys a nice glass of Cabernet Sauvignon. This gives new meaning to the phrase wet cement. This massive heater was left on overnight, and now these windows look like they belong in a Salvador Dali painting. If you drop a glass in the kitchen at home, then it's best to sweep up thoroughly. And if you drop a massive glass panel from hundreds of feet up in the air, then it's best to fly away, never to be seen again. The saddest thing about this is that they really do think they can use those two small tubs to catch that tsunami of paint. This is like an extreme version of when you change the vacuum cleaner bag. When you forget which one's the fish and which one's your phone. At least he didn't take a selfie with the fish. I'm not sure if these two forklift drivers are running for safety or running into the manager's office to scream, "It wasn't me!" This guy manages to demolish a wall, a window, a drain pipe, and any respect his child might have ever had for him. This is an oil spill on the banks of the Coca River in Ecuador, and it's gonna take a little more than a few scraps of kitchen tissue to clear it up. Watch as this brand new dryer transforms into trash in a matter of seconds. Surely this guy's already got enough cars. That's just greedy. This is why you should always use mortar to keep bricks together rather than willpower. If you've enjoyed these fails, then avoid making the biggest fail you'll ever make by not clicking subscribe.